right, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick Strength and Power. So Hafthor Bjornsson did the world record deadlift attempt today in Germany. I watched this stream for the majority of the day. They had bench press and deadlift. I was very impressed also with John Hack. But I think this is probably the biggest strength sports story of the month, if not the year, outside of the World's Strongest Man competition, because Hafthor Bjornsson was in fact able to beat his previous record of 501 kilos. This time, 505 kilos, which he pulled successfully. His first attempt was 430 kilos. His second attempt was 470, and the final attempt was 505. And honestly, it looked relatively easy. And I believe there was one other guy that attempted 505 unsuccessfully, and then someone else attempted 507.5, and that was also unsuccessful. So Hafthor was the only one to be able to pull 505 plus, which is 1,113 pounds. So very impressive, and I think this honestly puts to rest any of the controversy around the 501 kg world record. Obviously, if you guys go back to 2020, the record that Thor set was beating Eddie Hall's record of 500 kilos by 1 kilogram. And that was just the 1 kilo aspect of it, the fact that it was during COVID, the fact that it wasn't in a competition, the fact that it was done at his home gym. All of these factors kind of combined led a lot of people to really question that record. And I think a lot of people felt, especially in the Eddie Hall camp, that it was an illegitimate record. I don't think anybody can really argue with that now. This was done in an official competition. The plates were weighed by the officials there, and there was nothing to suggest that there was any foul play going on here. So I really do think that now we can safely say that Thor is the world record holder for the heaviest deadlift in history, and I think this is legitimately an undisputed record. And honestly, it kind of looked like Thor had more in him. I think the way that he pulled this 505, it seemed like it was, like I said, it kind of seemed relatively easy. Not easy, but like he had more in the tank. Now, I will say, and I think this is going to be an interesting part of the discussion, I've seen a lot of people in the comment sections of the post of the record break on Instagram already questioning some aspects of this lift. The one that seems to be questioned the most is the lockout here. Now, for me, when I watched the 435 and the 470, to me, his lockout here is pretty much the same as those. His legs are completely straight. His back looks completely straight. I think maybe the argument is his hips could have been a little bit more, his hips more forward, I guess. But I didn't see, I mean, he didn't hitch here. He wasn't really shaking that bad. There wasn't really, I don't know. I mean, to me, watching it live, I didn't think the lockout looked questionable in the sense that you would say this was not a good lift. I don't think that you would say this would not count as a legitimate lockout. I see a lot of people questioning it, but it looked like a good lift to me. So I'm kind of curious to see what the discussion is going to be in the comment section of this video, because to me it looked like a legit lockout. Like I said, the legs were straight, the back was straight. Maybe he could have leaned back a little bit more, brought his hips a little bit more forward in the lockout. But again, watching the 435 attempt, which was a good lift, and the 470 attempt, which was a good lift, to me, his position at that lockout looks about the same as those two lifts did. So I'm curious to hear what you guys think in the comments down below, because for me, I feel like this put to rest a lot of the controversy around Thor's previous record. I thought this was more legitimate than that one in several ways. I think the biggest being that this was in an actual competition. It was not in his home gym. The plates were not weighed by his dad. They were weighed by the actual competition officials. And I just think that those elements were the important part that he needed to change, and the fact that this was more than just 1 kilo over. This was 5 full kilos over, almost 12 pounds over Eddie's record. And the lockout seems to be really the only thing that people are questioning. And I kind of feel like no matter what he did here, I think people would have found something to pick apart. But for me, I thought the lockout was good. Maybe it could have been better, but as far as counting this as a good lift, I thought it was good. Now, I think you probably could make the argument that maybe for a world record like this, they should have stricter standards for a lockout, or stricter standards for what they would count as a good lift for a world record lift. I think you could make that argument, but for the other deadlifts that we saw here from other guys and from Thor, I thought this lockout position was pretty much on par with all the other good lifts, or a lot of the other good lifts that we saw on this stream tonight. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, because there does seem to already be some controversy brewing. But that's going to wrap it up for the video, guys. I hope you did, in fact, enjoy it. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, click that bell notification icon if you have not already. And as always, love you guys, appreciate you guys. Nick Strength and Power signing out. All right, guys, don't forget to click that like button and subscribe to this channel if you enjoy the content. Also, check out my Instagram at Nick Strength Power. My Facebook page, which is simply Nick Strength and Power. My secondary YouTube channel, Nick Strength and Vlogs, for vlogs and bonus content that you will not see on this channel. And consider subscribing to my third YouTube channel, Nick Strength and Pokemon, which is all things Pokemon and trading card games, completely unrelated to this channel. So if you're into that, give that one a look. And all links to merchandise and social media will be in the description box below. If you guys want a Nick Strength and Power t-shirt, that will be in the Shopify link below. Have a great day.